Hey everyone, you're watching the Player Review Team channel. It's time to talk about a feature we regularly use in our reviews, one that has become even more relevant this year. And you know what? This is exactly the kind of mechanic that shouldn't be heavily patched or, even worse, removed from the game. Which means once you learn how to use it properly, you'll permanently raise your skill level and never have to relearn it again. As you've probably guessed, we're talking about the player lock. Right away, we'll say this video will be useful for every category of players. Guys, Weekend League already starts, which means it is time to grab the best rewards. If you thought about boosting your account and at the same time having the chance to watch the stream, write to us. Contact is in the video description. So, first of all, go into Settings, then scroll down the first tab until you find the switching section. At the very bottom, you'll see the player lock. Turn it on, since it's off by default. Next, go to Squad Battles and start practicing on the lowest difficulty. Why Squad Battles? Because unlike the practice arena, here you can turn on the on-screen gamepad and see exactly what buttons you're pressing incorrectly. You can enable the gamepad display in Settings, Visuals. It's the second option from the top. Now press L3 plus R3 at the same time, meaning the left and right sticks. A diamond will appear above your player. Then use the right stick to point to the player you want to control. You're now controlling that player, while your previous one will keep moving forward in the direction you left him. So keep that in mind, and only switch when there's open space ahead of your bot. At first, use this feature only on the wing with your fullback or wide midfielder. Usually, there's always space on the flank. Important note: press the left stick slightly before the right one, as in this example. The key thing is not to press the right stick first, or you'll trigger a skill move or lose the ball. Why does the right stick sometimes get pressed earlier? Because mentally, we react faster than our fingers. So you need to train your muscle memory to press the left stick first, then the right one immediately after. Here's a good in-game example. You see the player you want to switch to, but you rush and press the right stick first. Watch the controller closely. As a result, the ball bounces away and you lose possession. Here's another bad example. Again, you can clearly see that tiny delay between R3 and L3 that ruins the whole play. Once you master the correct timing, not only will you stop losing the ball, but you'll also become much faster at switching. Though yes, it can be done even faster, but more on that later. By the way, this year player lock is even more effective than directed runs. Remember, that's when you press L1 toward a player, then use the right stick to indicate where he should run. The thing is, directed runs have become slower. Players take more time to accelerate, that's one. 2, they can't make those sharp directional cuts like this example shows, so player lock is much more efficient. Plus, bots pass to you more accurately, even if they don't have any passing playstyles. Take Jordi Alba from our recent review, for instance. Yes, he's got solid stats but lacks passing traits, yet still delivers perfect crosses straight to the target. Another example is with Pepe. You all know him well, and he doesn't have incisive pass, yet look at that pace and passing precision. Then it's just about sprinting toward goal and waiting for Pepe himself to arrive from his inside forward position. Speaking of inside forwards, if you'd like a detailed tutorial on defense, you can actually speed up its release by smashing the like button under this video. Back to our flank play. As mentioned earlier, start using player lock specifically on the wings, especially on the near side where you have better visibility. For instance, to unbalance a fullback and burst into his zone. Next, start adding vertical passes from the wing into the box. In this example, we could cross into this area for the arriving player, but he's too far away, so we use player lock and carefully read the defender. He begins moving into the box, trying to cover the most dangerous zone. We pass under him and catch him on the wrong foot. And trust us, these situations on the flanks happen all the time. Not just once per match, but several times per half. The variations are endless. You can pass earlier, later, or not at all. Meaning, you don't have to pass every time after activating player lock. You can cancel it with the same combination, use it as a feint, and continue your run or switch play entirely. Either way, it'll confuse your opponent. Just make sure you don't confuse yourself. Your main goal is to shake the opponent before making a pass, including the AI, which also reacts to such movements. And yes, you can press L3 and R3 at the same time, as long as you hit the middle of the right stick precisely. But it's still better to get used to pressing the left stick first. In this clip, we switch to our forward and start feinting. We make it look like we're about to cut wide. As you can see, the AI moves with us. Then we suddenly change direction and play a through ball. The opponent fails to switch in time and concedes a finesse shot into the far corner. This works great with your inside forward and striker. Even before receiving the ball, you can trigger player lock and perform the same feint. Again, here Rashford delivers a nice incisive pass even without the trait, and all that's left is to finish the move correctly. It works the other way too. Take this moment. We clearly show we're going inside, and Van Dijk, controlled by the opponent, simply can't turn fast enough despite his jockey. We catch him going the wrong way and go straight through on goal. The key is mastering the timing. You can also do this in the center, but only when there's space in front of your bot so he doesn't get pressed. We switch to Rodrigo, slow down, and pretend to move the other way. It's always easier when the opponent tries to manually predict your move. Then we accelerate back toward the box, stay onside, and calmly finish the chance. Again, only use player lock when your bot has space, especially in the middle. Pay attention not only to your own switches, but also to your opponent's. Don't hold the ball too long or you'll get pressed, especially if you overuse this mechanic. That said, you can still overuse it effectively if you vary your decisions during the match. At this stage, we move to more advanced techniques. For example, you can stretch your opponent's defense like this. Here, De Jong leaves the central zone and opens up a great passing lane. We don't take it immediately, but instead switch back, make the opponent hesitate, and then go wide again without player lock. You can also activate player lock without switching right away. In fact, you can pass while staying on your locked player and keep moving, then switch to another player and pass again, confusing your opponent even more. Here's another example. We activate player lock, pass to the bot, then make a run ourselves. Notice how the bot shields the ball well. However, don't rely on that too often. They usually just run in a straight line. Still, bots can hold off defenders with their body when pressured from behind, as we showed in the Pogba review. The effectiveness of this depends on the player's model. Another great trick, select your inside forward and drag him all the way toward the sideline. Then switch back and trigger him with L1. This creates an extremely wide setup for your winger. Now, launch the attack and play a pass to the third man. Before receiving, press L1 toward the inside forward so he starts his run. Use player lock to select a player for the long ball toward the runner. The goal is to shake off your opponent and open up the passing lane. Pass and then chip it first time with L1 plus triangle. We'll cover long balls in detail another time, but hopefully you get the mechanic. And again, you don't always have to chip it first time. A normal incisive pass can also work great. The main thing is to position your passer well and avoid the offside trap. Here's another sequence where we trigger the insides run before receiving the ball. Look closely at how the pass reaches him. It seems simple, but this technique demands good timing and experience. Even though player lock is great for counterattacks, you can also use it in possession play, both to bait your opponent and for third man runs. At the same time, don't forget about simple L1 runs and short passes. The game still rewards smart passing and good vision, not just mechanics. Before wrapping up, a quick tip. The L3 plus R3 combo isn't exactly comfortable during gameplay, and the sticks must be pressed quickly and firmly. You can get used to it, but if you want to make things easier and speed up player lock usage, you'll need a special controller. We're talking about the DualSense Edge for PlayStation 5 or the Elite controller, as well as brands like Razer and SCUF for Xbox. For PC, both types will work just fine. We'll show the Edge as our example. Yes, it's not a cheap toy. Usually costs about 3 standard DualSense controllers. But if you're obsessed with FC26 and want to improve your skill, trust us, it's worth it. First, you can bind L3 and R3 to the back paddles, which makes life so much easier and speeds up player lock activation dramatically. Second, you can shorten the dead zones for both sticks, so your movements become sharper. To do that, switch to a digital profile. It won't turn you into a pro overnight, but it will definitely give you more control. To sum up, player lock is one of the most important mechanics in FC26. You absolutely need to master it if you want to progress in this game. We hope we gave you a complete understanding of how to use it, but if you know any extra techniques, let us know in the comments. And of course, leave your questions. We'll try to reply quickly. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button to support the channel. Thanks for watching till the end, and see you in the next videos.